What's up, everybody? This is Daniel Mathematics here with another example to explore, guys. And today, guys, I want to go over example 7 of how to solve word problems dealing with percents. Word problems dealing with percents. And remember, guys, percents fall under the proportionality umbrella, along with ratios, unit rates, measurement conversions, scale drawing, scale factoring, all of that, guys, all of those different concepts that fall under the proportionality umbrella can be solved by using the box method, okay? And this is the box method that we're gonna use to solve this particular percent word problem, okay? So let's go ahead and read it, guys. It says 400 students at Silas High School were asked about their favorite sport. Based on the information given in the pie chart below, how many students chose soccer as their favorite sport, okay? Let me read the question one more time. How many students chose soccer as their favorite sport? Now, dealing with percents, guys, this is the particular box method that we're going to use, where the percentage of the subject, which is the part, right, will go in this particular box, which is the top left box. The top right box is the quantity of the part, of the specific part of the whole that we're focusing on. We'll go in the top right box. The bottom left box is 100%, and then the bottom right box is the whole of the total quantity of whatever we're focusing on, okay? That will go in the bottom right box, okay? So we have these three parts. Let me go ahead and write them, guys. Okay, we have the percent. We got the part. Okay, and then we have the whole. Okay. Now, remember, guys, the whole represents all the students, right? All the students that participated, okay? So this problem told us that 400 students participated in this particular survey, right? They were asked about their favorite sport, okay? So the whole is the 400 students, because that is the overall quantity of everybody that participated in the survey or the questioning, okay? So 400 students, okay? All right, now remember, guys, as you can see, the percent and the part sits on the same row or the subject line or the same subject line, meaning that they represent the same thing, right? So the question is asking how many students chose soccer as their favorite sport, right? We can see from this pie chart, not every student, based on the percentages, chose soccer. So the percent that represents soccer will be the percent, right? And then the quantity that represents the number of students that chose soccer will be the part, okay? So soccer is the specific subject or the specific part of the whole that we're focusing on, okay? So soccer represents the part in the percent, okay? Now, in this particular problem, guys, we don't know how many students chose soccer yet, right? We don't know the actual amount, but based on this pie chart, they gave us the percentage of the students that chose soccer as their favorite sport, which is 20%. So we're gonna put 20% here. We're gonna put 20% there. And once again, guys, we don't know the part, but because we have the total number of students that participated and the percentage of the students that chose soccer as their favorite sport, we can find out the quantity or the actual amount of students that chose soccer as their favorite sport, right? So we're just gonna set part as X. We're just gonna set it as X, all right? And then after that, guys, all you need to do is just draw the box method. Divide it into 4 boxes. And we just basically going to follow this particular format, okay? So remember, guys, the bottom left box is always 100%, right? And then the bottom row is representing the total, right? So 100%, and then the whole, the total number of students that participated is 400. okay? Now, the top row, right? The subject is the students that chose soccer as their favorite sport, right? So I'm gonna title this top row as soccer, okay? So I know I'm doing that because I know that all of these quantities or these particular values represent the students that chose soccer. This is the percentage of the students that chose soccer, which is 20%, right? And then this is the actual amount of students that chose soccer, which is the part we don't know. So we're just gonna put an X. Okay? So guys, once again, guys, there are two different ways that you can solve this problem. You can solve it by cross multiplying or scale factor. Okay? Either cross multiplying or scale factor. All right? Now, I'm gonna do it both ways so I can just show y'all that you will get the same answer doing it both ways. So let's cross multiply first. I'm gonna cross multiply. All right, so let's do this particular method first, which I also call it the butterfly method. That's a nickname that I give it, okay? All right, so let's cross multiply. Always multiply X with the number or the value that's diagonal with it or of it. 100 times X is 100X. Okay, and then on the other side, we're going to multiply the other two numbers or values that are diagonal, which is 20 times 400. So we have 20 times 400, okay? 100 times X is still 100X, that stays the same. Okay, here's a trick that I teach all my students. Whenever you're multiplying numbers that have consecutive zeros starting at the ones place, you can cross out those zeros and then reattach them. 2 times 4 is 8. And then I have to reattach these 3 zeros. So if 2 times 4 is 8, that's safe to say that 20 times 400 is 8,000. Okay, 20 times 400 is 8,000. All right, now in order for me to find out the value of X, I gotta divide both sides by 100 since it's attached to 100 to get X by itself. I'm going to divide this side by 100. I'm going to divide this side by 100. Okay. Here's another trick that I show my students. Whenever you're dividing numbers with zeros in the ones place, you can cross out those zeros. 8,000 has a zero in the ones place. 100 has a zero in the ones place. I can cross out these zeros. Now I have 800 divided by 10. Same thing. If you look, 800 has a zero in the ones place, and then 10 has a zero in the ones place. So what I can do is, I can cross out that set of zeros. Now I have 80 divided by 1. 80 divided by 1 is 80. So my answer is 80 students chose soccer as their favorite sport. 80 students chose soccer. 80 students chose soccer, okay? That's cross multiplying. Now I'm going to solve the same problem to get the same answer, but I'm going to do a different method, which is scale factor. And I'm going to show y'all how to scale factor while utilizing the box method. So I'm going to draw the same thing, but the same values where they go. So I got 100, I have 20%, I have 400, and I have X. And I'm gonna put scale factor, right? Scale factor. And remember guys, scale factoring is when a number has a multiple or a number is a multiple of another number. So for example, guys, 6 is a multiple of 2 because as you count up by 2, you're going to eventually say 6 because 2 times 3 is 6. Another example, 30 is a multiple of 10 because as I count up by 10s, I'm going to eventually say 30. 10, 20, 30, meaning that 10 times 3 is 30, right? So those are examples of multiples. So either I can scale factor vertically or I can scale factor horizontally, all right? depending on the positions of the multiples, right? Or the numbers that could be scale factored. Now, the first thing I want to do is identify X, okay? Now, it's two ways that I can actually scale factor, guys. I can scale factor vertically, right? Because I can go from 100 to 20, right? Or I can scale factor horizontally and I can go from 100 to 400 because 400 is a multiple of 100 and 100 is a multiple of 20. So it's two different ways that we can do it, guys. All right, so either I can go vertically or I'm gonna go horizontally. I'm gonna choose to go horizontally even though it will work the same way vertically. All right, I'm choosing to go horizontally because 400 is a multiple of 100, right? And I know that because if I multiply 100 by 4, I would get 400. Okay? So I'm going to multiply 100 by 4. And I'm going to get 400, right? Now, if I multiply 100 by 4 to get 400, I'm going to multiply 20 by 4 to get X. Okay? 20 times 4 is 80. Which is the same answer down here, guys. So once again, I would get the same exact answer. 80 students choosing soccer. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. See y'all next time.